Today we're taking a look at the brand spanking new Latitude 64 Royal Grand Fire. This is an overstable mid-range with the numbers 5303. Probably going to be a beefy boy. Now, I believe these come out on April 1st, 2026, which may or may not be the day you're watching this, depending on if I can edit this video in time. TBD. Now, I've not thrown the Fire yet, but when I first held it, I immediately thought to myself that this feels a lot like the Axiom Pyro, also a very popular overstable mid-range. So today we're going to be throwing the Fire all over the course, comparing it to the Pyro. And before we get started, let me know what your favorite overstable mid-range is down below in the comments. With all that said, let's jump into this thing. All right, we're going to start on a 268-foot par 3, slightly downhill. Basket's tucked off to the left. You can kind of see this tree hanging down into the fairway. We got to get around that to park this basket. It's also like 15 to 18 mile an hour winds today, so it's pretty windy. Part of the reason why you might want to buy a Fire is to fight the wind. So should be a good test. Oh, fought out of that pretty quick. That looks great. That looks, oh, that's surely right underneath the basket. I thought that was going in for a second. All right, first throw of the Fire. Liking that so far. Wow, is that a good omen or what? What, about 5 feet long of the basket here? All right, let's bust out the Pyro. The reason why I say the Pyro reminds me a lot of the Fire and vice versa is because they both have this really aggressive concave wing shape, which is pretty typical of like pretty beefy overstable mid-ranges. I will say that the Pyro is definitely flatter. I own a bunch of Pyros. They are virtually all board flat, whereas this Fire does have kind of this raised shoulder. It's not domey by any means, like it's still a flat disc, but you can definitely tell there's a little bit more of just like a subtle raised shoulder and dome compared to the extremely flat Pyro. Anyways, we have a, what is this? 351 foot par 4. I'm pretty sure this is actually a par 4 on UDisc because there's a lot of trees out there that we got to avoid. Starts with this tunnel shot, so we're just going to try to put these out flat to maybe just a little tiny bit of anhyzer because we want to get some distance but also end to the left. These probably aren't going to push nearly as much as we need them to, but we're going to give it a shot here, and we're going to start with the Fire. Oh, I really like that. I mean, you can see that overstable finish. Yeah, that got left pretty aggressively. Let's go Pyro. Ooh, put that out higher, but you can see such a similar flight. Those broke to the left at almost the exact same time in their respective flights. So right off the bat, I'm seeing the similarities. And these two literally landed right next to each other. We got Fire just like 3 feet before the Pyro. Little Fire up shot, worked out. Which brings us to 237 foot par 3. Bends off to the right, so this is definitely a forehand friendly hole. You got to make this gap though off the tee. Because it's so short, it's just kind of like a chip forehand. It's pretty simple. Great for anything that is very overstable. We're going to start with the Pyro. Love it. Pyro is so good on this hole. Get a big skip. There we go. Should be underneath the basket. I will say it's going to be hard for the Fire to win me over on the forehand because that board flat Pyro profile is so good on the forehand. But this is still flat enough where it should get the job done for me on the forehand. Love it. Oh, it's going kind of straight for a while. Okay, come on back. That held straighter for just a tick more than I thought it would. So we went a little bit deep, didn't get the skip, but still a good spot inside circle 1. Both of these very solid. That really overstable finish with the Pyro and the skip nets us a bullseye, whereas Fire just a little bit further back here, but still a very respectable C1, but no bird. Also, you can use my affiliate link in the description below to get 10% off your entire order at this channel's sponsor, Disc Golf Deals USA. They have an awesome website, great customer service, great great disc selection. So go check them out, Disc Golf Deals USA, using my affiliate link. Anyways, now we're gonna be throwing these kind of just out in the open. We're not gonna be throwing out a basket. I'm just gonna put these out hard and see how they handle a little bit of heat. There is an intermittent headwind, so we'll also kind of see how they hold up in the headwind, which is very important. Pyro first. Yeah, still coming out there. Yeah, I love that. I mean, these are just so overstable, super predictable. And let's try the same with the fire. Put that one out a little bit higher. Yeah, I mean, comes out of a little subtle anhyzer there. Those probably ended up right next to each other. Well, there you go. The discs don't lie. We got pyro and we got fire about 3 feet from one another. And we come to another hole where we will not be throwing out a basket because the basket position is kind of a wonky spot right now. So instead, we're just gonna imagine where the basket usually is, 260 foot, par 3. You gotta put it out flat to maybe a little bit of anhyzer and then have it fade out just at the very end and just kind of curve around this wall of trees on the left. These discs should both be great for this hole because the fairway just lines up perfectly with these flights. Let's start with the pyro. Yeah, see, anhyzer flexing out. That's probably gonna be, yeah, that's probably right on top of where that basket usually is. Now let's go fire. Yeah, don't hit that tree. Don't hit that tree. We didn't hit that tree. You'll love to see it. Once again, I would be shocked if these are more than 10 feet apart. These things are flying so similarly. All right, a little bit more than 10 feet, but that's really only because the pyro decided to throw itself down this gully. But even with that, still probably like 15-foot difference. This is a 240-foot downhill par 3, basket off to the right. A lot of trees, but there is a gap right in the middle that we gotta hit if we want to end up near the basket. And let's start with the Axiom Pyro. Low, but good. Got a big skip for us. Ooh, hit something funky. Got the straight skip, but that's still edge of circle. All right, let's go fire. Ooh, okay, come on back for us. There we go. That is probably edge of bullseye. I do feel like the fire is flying straighter for longer than the pyro, and that pyro's overstability kicks in just a little bit earlier in the flight. But either way, for a hole like this, either of these discs are gonna be great. Well, there you have it, guys. Pyro, fire, both great options. They fly so similarly. I do feel like I forehand the pyro a little bit cleaner just because it's a little bit flatter, and I'm pretty picky about that when it comes to my forehands. On the backhand though, love them both. The fire did such a good job keeping up with the tried and tested gem that is the pyro. So I think if you are looking for a really overstable mid-range, but still workable and isn't just gonna like dump out immediately, like right out of your hand, I think the fire is a great choice. Once again, let me know what your favorite overstable mid-ranges are down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you consider liking and subscribing because we are so close to 4,000 subscribers. So if you haven't yet, today's the day to join the Flying Fajita family. You can also follow me on Instagram at Flying Fajita Disc Golf or UDisc Community at Flying Fajita. And as always, guys, I love you. Take care. I'll see you next time.